Okay, Reggie, on a couple of segments ago, you had talked about how we were talking about Yo-Yo, and you were talking about the her visiting Tupac in jail or dating Suge or something like that. But you mentioned that if that you threw a remark about her and Tupac having like a love child or something like that. Can you speak more about that? Because I think that's like something that other people in the comments were asking if that's true or not.
Yeah. I mean, I tell y'all, I like Yo-Yo, so y'all not gonna hear me shitting on Yo-Yo. I still think her and my wife have the most beautiful eyes. Um, you know, ever. I love Yo-Yo eyes and my wife eyes. But okay, I'm just gonna throw this out and I'm gonna leave it there. Look at this picture of Tupac. Look at this picture of Yo-Yo daughter that was conceived around the time that Tupac and Yo-Yo was messing around. Tupac and Yo-Yo messed around, according to her, from about 91, 93, 94. So that would make this young lady at one point, well, currently today about what, 34, in her mid 30s. So I'm not talking about a kid, because y'all know I don't like talking about people, kids, even though she is Yo-Yo kid. But y'all just look at those pictures and y'all make y'all judgments from there. One thing we got to respect the hell out of Yo-Yo is about is if that was Tupac kid and she never made any claims to the estate or to death row or anybody, because that kid would be the one inheriting all of that money from Tupac estate that he's definitely about to get, because they about to sell that catalog off. And we all know that's going to be anywhere from 200 to $500 million. And all she had to do is get a swab. I'm sure the coroner, because we still have an open murder case, right? So I'm sure the coroner have his DNA. So coroner ought to be easy to get that. Billy Gordon's still alive. He'll do a swab. The only thing he had to do is probably promise that nigga $100,000. He'll swab it. So y'all take a look at that. I'm not saying it is, it isn't. Yo-Yo never, ever uttered that it was his. She must respect the hell out of the young girl's father for her not to say that if it's true. But if that picture of y'all don't look like Tupac with a wig on, y'all ain't keeping it real. Matter of fact, y'all look at that video shoot for Made Niggas when he had that wig on playing around and don't see if that's a twin. But hey, I don't want to get beat up. I don't want to get towed up. I don't want everybody hating. John asked the question. I heard a lot of y'all in the comments always saying, is that Tupac daughter? Is Yo-Yo daughter? Well, I know a lot of us never really looked at that picture. I just put up the picture for you. I'm not saying it is or isn't, because Yo-Yo have never made that claim. So, but I do know, and what I do know is Tupac didn't have no will or no living trust. So she could have and still can be the owner of Tupac estate if she decided to get somebody to take DNA and prove that she is his natural born. But I don't think Yo-Yo want to do that. She obviously have a lot of respect for the gentleman that's been claiming to be the father. And she just don't want to unravel or mess up that young lady's head. But I'm sure 30-something-year-old young lady, she done heard the rumors as well. So that's all. I ain't gonna touch it no more.
If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health struggles, you should hear this. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. Now Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they've caused. Click the link in my bio to take a short quiz. You may be entitled to potential recovery of up to $1,000.
Hey y'all, this video that y'all just heard from Morgan & Morgan, y'all please take 5 minutes and fill it out. I'm telling y'all that money is going to be paid out before Christmas. Well, the possibility. I can't guarantee nothing. Well, a possibility. And that's going to be perfect. And then when those payments start coming out, y'all make sure y'all cash app your boy. His percentage, my management fee.
Okay. On the Murder Rap channel, Reggie, Whack Deuce is doing an interview over there. And yesterday, on Tuesday, he did a segment where they kind of talked about once Suge got locked up and all that. And Whack Deuce was asked who he thought should have ran the label once Suge went away. And he thought, in his opinion, it was Buntry. I just wanted to see, and I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just seeing, like, do you agree or do you disagree, or what are your thoughts on that?
Buntry never was business mind like that. I always told y'all who was the business minds around there. Big Jake, but he was dead already. Was the only one trying to learn the business. Buntry was a homeboy. Buntry didn't even want to lead the homeboys. He didn't even want to be in charge of that. Buntry was just laying back, smoking this cigarette, when hanging out with Suge. That's not Buntry mentality, but hey, of course. That's what Whack Deuce. Whack Deuce was 16 years old when he was around us. So that's who he looked up to. Those his big homies. Whack Deuce family is royalty over there in the mob. I mean, his uncles and father, the Jordans, they some of the originators with the Colberts and people like that. They originators from the mob. Bob Gotti and them. Those are people that have been around the mob originally, but mainly the Jordans. And then it moved over to Mob James and them spot. But now, Buntry definitely wouldn't have been considered by Suge. A guy by the name of Kevin Black, if he was still there, might have got the position. But nobody would have been able to keep niggas at bay like I did. The main thing was to keep niggas from pushing up on their money. Suge had a hard time keeping those niggas from pushing up on his money. He used to have to play dodgeball with the phones. And so Suge didn't let nobody like that get over his books. A homie, wasn't happening. But hey, that's his opinion. Those his big homies. So I don't expect anything less from me to say. And the one thing that I heard that he said that I want to correct what people start saying, and he said K-Dub was in the car when Buntry got killed. He messed up on that. Definitely Tie Stick. That was in the car. Anybody from the hood knows that. He just messed up. And I just tell y'all gotta remember, a lot of this stuff is 30 years old to 28 to 30 years old. People memory is not, as good as y'all's. Y'all listen to this stuff a lot. People, we just be talking off the top of our heads. off our memory. We don't go to Google or other people YouTubes and look this stuff up. But I could think about 3 or 4 things where he mistakenly, but for the most part, he's trying to be as honest as he can from what he saw. But White Dukes was young, good dude, and a lot of the things he said he did experience firsthand because he did come around towards the end. Yeah. I wish somebody would ask him. If I knew Mike Dorsey was doing that interview, I like I do with everybody, I am the one to pass the number. But I wish I would have remembered to ask him to tell what he knows about the Gaddafi situation in New Jersey. Because he was out there. He was fucking with those Jersey dudes. But we'll say that for another day. Y'all ask him. Peace. Bomb first.